This is a commentary by Hindus Advancing Human Rights, HARI, a Hindu-backed initiative, USA. Once again, evil has struck in faraway Australia. At least 12 people, mostly Jews, have been murdered in cold blood by terrorists. More will likely die. We are outraged by this attack and condemn it in the strongest possible terms. We know that the injured and near and dear ones of the victims have now entered a dark tunnel from which some may never emerge. We in Hari know this phenomenon well, as one of the terrorists was named Naveed Akram, likely a Muslim man of Pakistani origin. As the Pakistani connection has emerged, and as the investigation continues, it's time to turn to Pakistan. We recall that on 27th November 2025, the Oxford Union in the United Kingdom had planned a debate on the motion, "This House believes that India's response to Pakistan is a populist strategy sold as a security policy." Unquote. The debate did not take place, but the motion deserves examination as it raises issues that will persist and require an evidence-based response grounded in historical facts, geopolitical reality, international law, and the events in Australia. Our first objection to the motion is its implied equivalence between India, the oldest living indigenous non-converted civilization in the world, and Pakistan. But what is Pakistan? As Pakistan literally means the land of the pure, how pure is it? So let us examine its purity as it is unfolded from 1947 onwards based on non-Indian sources and begin with its Qaid-e-Azam, the great leader. On September 20th, 1948, Time magazine wrote an obituary of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, simply headlined, "Pakistan, that man." It started thus, quote, "Out of the travail of 400 million in the Indian subcontinent have come two symbols, a man of love and a man of hate. Last winter, the man of non-violence died violently at the hands of an assassin. Last week, the man of hate, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, at 71, died a natural death in Karachi." Unquote. But what kind of natural death was it? For little did Jinnah know that he too was subject to the unbreakable law of karma. In 2017, the New York Times described how he had died. He had to, quote, "wait for 2 hours on a stretcher for a replacement ambulance in the oppressive heat of the city by the Arabian Sea. He died later that evening." Unquote. Another news source reported, "Flies hovering over the mouth, extreme heat, and a bad ambulance that suddenly stopped because it had run out of petrol. Karachi usually gets a cool breeze from the sea, but that day there was no breeze at all. An ambulance that runs out of petrol, transporting the most important leader of a country? Like we said, the unbreakable law of karma." And what was the day of Jinnah's death? September 11th, 1948. Yes, he died on 9/11. Is it any wonder that Jinnah, the man of hate, was the inspiration for the country that decided to shelter the mastermind of 9/11, Osama bin Laden, who killed almost 3,000 Americans? And it was reported by Reuters that amongst bin Laden's possession was a fairly extensive collection of pornography. Unquote. Let's turn to other evidence on the nature of Pakistan. Professor Ishtiaq Ahmed writes, "We were born because of hatred. We are alive because of hatred. This hatred was for Indians and Hindus. This hatred was for Bengalis. Now we hate the Baluch people. How can we become a normal state?" Farnaz Isfahani, a Pakistani writer, in a book, Purifying the Land of the Pure, writes that Pakistan has carried out a, quote, drip genocide of its minorities, including Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Ahmadiyas, and Shias. More than 1,000 Hindu girls and women are annually kidnapped, converted, and forced to marry much older Muslim men. Al Jazeera reported that such cases are rarely brought to the attention of the police because, quote, their screams fall on deaf ears, unquote. An IMF report published recently has exposed, quote, corrosive corruption at Pakistan's highest levels, unquote. Pakistanis have killed more than 200 polio vaccination team members who were in a blessed mission to immunize children and protect them from deadly polio. Pakistan is a country that still keeps its Hindus and Christians in slave-like conditions as bonded laborers in brick kilns. It is a country that has made nuclear bombs, according to the New York Times, based on a global network of theft and espionage. It has imprisoned a popular leader and in the past has judicially murdered a prime minister and assassinated his daughter. It has committed the genocide of Hindus and Muslims in 1971 and what was then East Pakistan. Saudi Arabia has told Pakistan, don't send us your beggars. The Pakistani passport is the fourth in the world. Sweden closed its embassy in Pakistan in 2023 and Finland will do so in 2026. This is Pakistan. Our second reason against the motion is a notable omission in how it is phrased. It talks about India's response, implying that Pakistan was the first mover, the initiator. But what did Pakistan do? The motion is silent. The whole world knows that it is the T word, as this country has been a nursery of terrorism and aggression and repeated wars since 1948. The question is, how should we in the international community view terrorism? The Security Council of the United Nations has repeatedly affirmed that, quote, acts of international terrorism constitute one of the most serious threats to international peace and security in the 21st century, unquote. It is called on all member states to summon the requisite political will to denounce all acts of terrorism and to strengthen cross-border control capabilities. Article 51 of the UN Charter recognizes the inherent right of self-defense if an armed attack occurs against a country. Why is the motion silent on terrorism? Consider how Pakistani-backed and trained terrorists massacred Indians in April this year after confirming they were Hindus. The United Nations has an International Day of Remembrance and Solidarity with victims of terrorism. It recognizes, quote, victims often feel forgotten and neglected once the immediate aftermath of a terrorist attack fades with profound consequences for them. But we ask, who speaks for those Hindu victims of Pakistani terrorism? And why this double standard and the silence around them? Can the shedding of Hindu blood by terrorists be brushed aside and buried in silence? It would certainly seem so. We call your attention to the rising Hindu phobia around the world, the genocide of Hindus in Pakistan, the ethnic cleansing in Bangladesh, the false comparison of a beloved swastika with Hitler's Hakenkreuz. Just as anti-Semitism is recognized and fought against, the time has come to recognize and fight against the growing Hindu phobia. The motion as it stands implicitly fails to do so. We now come to a third objection. The Oxford Union seems to be naive in the extreme if it thinks this is only a regional problem and that they are sheltered in the UK in idyllic Oxford. Perhaps they take refuge in Shakespeare's admiring words about England, this royal throne of king, this sceptred isle. But is your small island safe from the ideology and terrorism Pakistan has given the world? Do you not recall the ideology that caused the 7/7 bombings in 2005? That motivated the killers of Lee Rigby? That killed innocents in 2017 in the Ariana Grande concert? That led to the Westminster Bridge attack in 2017? That assassinated Sir David Amess in 2021? And the Pakistani grooming gang scandal in the UK, which Dr. Mark Dury of Christian Concern has directly linked to Islamic theology. He has said the unsayable, and what is said cannot be unsaid. In October, yet another fanatic attacked a British synagogue and killed 2 people. His name, Jihad al-Shami. The French think tank Fondapol has recorded 66,872 terrorist attacks worldwide that have caused the deaths of at least 249,941 people between 1979 and April 2024. Could the threat be any clearer? We know this for centuries. The fact is that this ideology is a global problem, and like climate change, needing both a worldwide and a local response. To paraphrase Jawaharlal Nehru's speech that he gave on 15th August 1947, "The moment has come when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of India, long suppressed, finally realizes that a country which voluntarily keeps itself outside the circle of civilized nations can sometimes be dealt with only in the language they understand." Recall that Madeleine Albright calls Pakistan an international migraine. Recall that V.S. Naipaul, the winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, considered Pakistan a criminal enterprise. Pakistan should realize that India has changed, and so should the Oxford Union. The motion is factually, legally, intellectually bankrupt. We call on the Union to release all of its internal communications and how it decided in a motion that is nothing more than a front for the worldwide menace of jihadi ideology. As for Pakistan, what it needs is not more development, not more science, not more honest government, not more democracy, not more schools, not more accountability, but a simple mirror. And that it will see us stained with the blood of its innocents in Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, especially their women and even the Shias and Ahmadiyas. Psychologists tell us that hatred is indeed a powerful emotion that can consume individuals, and nations are made of individuals. We would not be surprised that in not too distant future, this country born of hate continues its implosion begun in 1971 and ends up where this motion should, in the dustbin of history. Lastly, we return to mourn those killed in Australia. We urge you not to treat this as an isolated incident. Unless the world realizes and acts against this deadly ideology that has led to the global trail of death, destruction, and tragedy, we can assure you this will not be the last. Thank you for listening.